this is Rama from Creations Landscape Designs, Earthly Landscapes, and what I wanted to talk to you about in this video is the top 5 reasons why you should let your landscape designer refer a licensed landscape contractor to your project. But before I do that, I make videos about drought-tolerant landscapes, sustainable landscapes, California native landscapes, so if you'd like to get more of that content in your feed, then hit the red subscribe button down below. I'm also a residential landscape designer, so if you need landscape design services, I'd be happy to help you. I'll put a link to my website down in the description of the video. So let's get started. Here's the thing. As designers, speaking from the perspective of a professional designer, I work with contractors all the time. And I work with different types of contractors, from contractors that I refer to contractors that the client found somewhere, or maybe I was contacted by a contractor that got a project that he didn't design and wanted a designer because he didn't want to do the design or he didn't have time. But regardless, designers work with contractors all the time. So they have a list of contractors that they work with. And usually this list gets figuratively categorized into, I would totally work with this person again, I would never work with this person again, or somewhere in between. But when you let your designer refer a contractor, it just ends up ultimately being a better experience. First of all, the designer has already vetted the contractor. It's already someone that they've worked with, where they can say, yes, this person produces good quality work, because if they don't, I won't refer them to you. So the designer, when they refer contractors to you, 99% of the time it will be someone that they have worked with previously. Now the second reason why it is awesome, in my opinion, to let the designer refer the contractor is because if it's someone that they've worked with before, then the designer and the contractor have already built that relationship and built that rapport. The designer knows how the contractor works, the contractor knows how the designer works, and because they've worked beautifully together before, that means they're going to work fabulously together on your garden. Third reason is that designers will primarily only refer to you contractors that are licensed, bonded, insured, have workman's comp, and are legit. Contractors that don't pussyfoot around, beat around the bush, dick around. I personally, within my business, will never ever refer anyone to a client that is not licensed, that I have not worked with before, and that I can't reputably trust and be able to say to the client, yeah, you know, I haven't really worked with him, but I'm sure he does a good job. I would never do that to any of my clients. But I tell all my clients, I've worked with this guy before, or this gal. He or she is licensed, bonded, insured, all that good stuff. And I know and can vouch for the quality of work that they produce in your landscape. The fourth reason is itemized bids. So the contractors that I work with, and most contractors, will itemize all of their bids. So there'll be one line item for just the demolition, one line item for just the planting materials and labor, one line item for the irrigation materials and labor, and so on. And then you can get a clear understanding of what each line item costs. And all of those small line item costs will add up to one big number. And the fifth reason why you should allow the designer to refer the contractor is because the contractors that they work with, at least the ones that I work with, do one project at a time. What that means is this. If they're at your house working on your project, they will not move on to the next project until they are completely done with yours. Now there are instances where they may not be able to work on your project after they've started because it rained and they typically can't work effectively in the rain, or maybe because you're taking a vacation and you don't want anybody there at your house while you're gone. But for the most part, most contractors will do one project at a time. And that is why it is very, very beneficial. Because then, once the project is done, you can say, yeah, you know, I worked with a designer, and bonus number 6, You don't have to spend time trying to find that contractor. You don't have to Google search landscape contractors. You don't have to vet the contractor and do all of those things that the designer has already done for you. And usually what you do is you get at least a minimum of 2 to 3 bids and you go from there. But at least you don't have to go through all the headache of, okay, where am I going to find my ideal contractor? It's all already been done for you. Take advantage of it.